left-wing Kingz. Listen, think, act, repeat.
At one point during the damn debate, Trump jumped out there and he claimed that he had the biggest rallies, and then he started talking about immigration again in Springfield, Ohio. Yeah. For some reason, he just kind of saw a squirrel and went from having big rallies to cats and dogs. And he said, in Springfield, Ohio, people are eating the pets of the people that live there. So Ace, he's obviously embracing unverified conspiracy theories. So how is something like that going to land on your independent voters and undecided voters?
Well, I mean, just to acknowledge him seeing that squirrel, that was that ass whooping that was on him. Yeah, she had him dazed and confused. That was that, like the boxing when they get hit and they just look at it. That was that ass whooping on him. So
got a little groggy.
Independent, undecided voters. And I was just having a conversation when I was pulling here today talking about the show. I don't understand how you undecided. Like, undecided? And I said, it's either two ways you're going. What's the decision? It's either I believe the crazy bullshit and I'm on board with eating cats and dogs, or I'm not. Ain't no in between. Ain't no, let me think. You know what I'm saying?
We gonna talk about this.
Yeah. What the hell? Let me debate. And I just don't know. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand the undecided part. I think either one way or the other. But I think with independent voters, man, when he starts falling into the conspiracy theories and the things that aren't factual, I think that pulls more independent voters toward Harris. And here's the reason being, because I think he's not understanding outside of his base. People are really tired of that type of bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, people now, he has more strength when he talks probably economy and what he's going to do, because that's what people really want to hear. But then when you top it off with crazy stuff like that, people eating dogs and cats and things that can't be fact checks, and when it comes down to it, it has nothing to do with what's happening. I think as the independent voter looks at that, they're like, yeah, he's just up to his old antics again. Now, like I said, once again, independent, undecided. Well, I don't understand how you're there. You know what I'm saying? I just don't get it. I think that you either all in Trump,
right,
or you like, that's bullshit, and I'm gonna go Harris. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
definitely.
We damn near 40 days into the election. You still undecided?
Yeah.
Like, what are you waiting on? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what else does he have to say other than eating dogs and cats? I mean, children. He got to start talking about. Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. He did say that. He said she was murdering children. I forgot that. So, you know what I'm saying? So, I just don't understand that.
Yeah, there is a big distrust though in the media. So when you think of people who cater or like or are driven to these conspiracy theories, those people do exist. Because I'll talk to them, I'll hit them with some links. No, that's not credible. It's CNN or it's PBS. I don't believe in PBS. I don't like the journalists. I mean, those kind of people, they're gonna be fine with the eating dogs and cats.
Yeah.
Your moderates are like, I'm done. I'm tired. Like you said, they want to speak to policy and how we're gonna get these costs down and why is HEB so high, which is multitude of reasons as to why. But anyways, I mean, that's the things that people want to talk about. They really want to talk about things that are impacting them. So I think with the crazy dog and cats, I think the ones who are driven and like conspiracy theories, for some reason, there are people out there in this world who want to feel like whether they're educated or not educated, typically they're not educated, or at least formally, that believe in conspiracy theories. They want to say, hey, I'm important too. I have information. I'm smart. And
I really looked at me when she said that.
I did not. You know why I did not look at you? Because you are not a conspiratory theorist.
No, but she said educated and somewhat educated. She did a little point and shit.
I did not.
Shooting subliminals, nigga.
Oh
I know a lot of things that I say I can't spell, but come on, you
know what? I was looking at the camera.
I want to bring up a point, though. I want to bring up a few.
I'm so not. He's very educated.
I want to bring up a few quick points, man, about the undecided. And my take on it is this. And it's not only the undecided, it's also some of the decided people. They don't care about what he says, about how he may say something crazy. They have just decided to tune all of that out. They could care less. What they care about is they have someone who has their policies in mind. And that is what they are staking their undecided thing on, because some of the people who are undecided, they're trying, to me, they're undecided because they want to vote for Trump.
Yeah.
But they're finding it hard to ignore the crazy, the rhetoric, the divisiveness, and the things like that. And as they struggle with that, if he wasn't doing all of the stuff he's doing, they'd probably be right on Trump's train right now. Because there's no other reason to be undecided unless you agree with his policies but don't agree with how he's acting, right? So that to me is just people who just ignore that shit. But with that being the case, there's some people on here who ignore it, like Lake Ugly. So Lake Ugly is on YouTube, and he says both Obama, and this is going back to the abortion conversation, so we're kind of backtracking a little bit, but he says both Obama and Biden had a chance to codify Roe versus Wade and didn't. As a matter of fact, Obama said it would be the first thing he'd do if he was elected. So I want to address that by just saying that, unfortunately, every president out there tries to tell you what they want to do.
I mean, they can.
Right. Congress, unless they do an executive order for something, which they try not to do, which could be overturned as soon as they step out, to codify something, it has to be done through the process, not through a executive order. So in order for that to occur, Congress, he has to work with them and get them to do. I'm going to tell you something right now. When Obama was president, they tried at every single turn to not do anything he wanted to do. I'm surprised that Obamacare got put through, but that was because of the fact that that was the time when he had the House and the Senate.
It was majority.
He had the majority, so he got it. But yes, what about Trump? Trump said he was going to build a wall and Mexico was going to pay for it.
Where we at?
Did that happen? I mean,
Steve Bannon,
come on now. Don't act like, you know what I'm saying, everything that Trump said he wanted to do has come to fruition. No president, and if you want to be unbiased, Lake Ugly, and you want to be real, and you want to be educated, then you need to come with some educated questions. Don't say something that is as asinine as that. You know that a president can't just make something happen out of the blue. That's like saying Kamala Harris, as VP, could have made everything she wanted. She's saying she's going to do now. She could have made that happen. Even if she was president. Vice president definitely can't make it happen. The president can't just make shit happen. Right. You can't codify shit. You can't do that. So don't act like, when you've never heard us go out there as a show and say anything that is not factual or true, right? We have opinions about shit.
And I make sure to emphasize that when it is my opinion.
But we're not going to say, how come Trump didn't build a wall? Trump didn't build a wall and said that he was going to make Mexico. Because we know Mexico ain't paying for that shit. Yeah. I'm not going to blame him for that. He's just stupid for saying it.
Yeah.
Right. Like, we need to do a show on how it works as far as Congress and Senate. I really do feel that, because I feel like some of you do not have the information and think, we do not have kings and queens. However, somebody wants to be one, I'll tell you who it ain't. I'll tell you who it is. But we do not have kings and queens here, meaning they don't have authoritarian over all of us, okay? It's supposed to be a democracy. We have voices, kind of, somewhat, and what we want as a country. So just make sure that you understand as far as how it works in government, who's in charge, what the president's role is, what the vice president role is, what the Senate's role is, what the House of Representative roles are. And then come with us with some questions. I'll be more than happy to, as far as educate you on that. And I will make sure and quote as far as where I got my information on my credible sources.
She just said we have a social studies class.
We do.
Like third,
we do. Adrian,
social studies class. That's funny.
It's asinine, like he said. Some of the things that, even when people ask me questions, well, why didn't you do it as vice president? Do you know the role of the vice president? She's the tiebreaker, not the rule maker.
Yeah, she's a Senate tiebreaker.
Do you understand what they do? That's why no vice president. We never talk about vice presidents because we're like,
well, she was the border czar. First of all, she wasn't, and then secondly, you can't just go to the border and say, "Presto changeo. This is how it's going to be from now on."
Yes, you can. Bing.
Yeah, people. That's really subjective, because people they'll defend their candidate when the shoe's on the other foot, but then they'll expect the other candidate to be able to be Jesus and walk on water. Yeah. And it just doesn't work like that. And like I said, I mean, and hey, if you ain't up on your social studies and deal and don't understand the three branches of government, probably don't want to be commenting on a political show.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it is.
Yeah, we thank you
Thank
for your participation. Thank you for watching, though. But just come with some thought out questions, please.
Yeah.